I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. We just got a new trailer drop of gameplay for Tears of the Kingdom, and as everybody knows, The Legend of Zelda is my favorite franchise of all time, so I'm pretty stoked for it. I already got I saw pre-orders dropping for like a new controller and a new console. I got those in. I also actually got the special edition of the game this time, which I missed out on for Breath of the Wild. I was very sad. But yeah, we're gonna watch this together, and we're gonna see what the big deal is. You know, I hope there's not too many spoilers in terms of like the gameplay, because we already saw in the last trailer that we're gonna see some stuff like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts style, where you're like using the objects to make machines and ride around on that stuff. So let's see if we're gonna get anything too spoilery. I really hope not, but again, we're watching like 13 minutes of gameplay, so I don't doubt that we're gonna get some stuff spoiled, but here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. First, I have some news. Development on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now complete.
I mean, you'd hope so, right? It's coming out
Thank
like
you very
in a
much for
month.
Many of you are looking forward to this game, and we've released a few trailers so far. Although it'll just be a brief glimpse, I'm going to actually play the game for you all today.
He's gonna
and
be
show you
playing.
what it's like.
Uh-oh. Do you
Okay,
actually think he's playing, or do you
Let's
think they
begin.
have somebody else playing for him?
Here we are in the land of Hyrule. Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's a vast world to explore. Of course,
All
it's
right,
not just the
Link
same
already
world
looks
as
like a
is.
bad
It's changed in many
Bad
ways.
A.
If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so
Looks
we
like a
hope you'll seek
beast.
them out for yourself when the game launches.
The horse mechanic doesn't look too much
In
different.
this game, the vast world of Hyrule reaches high into the sky. You'll notice some landmasses floating up there.
And other
We
than the
call them
islands
Sky
up in the sky, it looks like pretty much like the same Hyrule, except for that
You're
like
probably
weird thing.
wondering
Did you see that?
something. How do you get
you
to
see
the
that
Sky
weird
Islands
thing?
when they're so high up?
There was something up on the mountain,
If we
the
take a look,
cliffside over there.
oh, something's falling from the sky. Do you see it?
Yeah, I
wonder
see
what
it.
that is.
But I also
Let's
see
head
that
over
like
to it.
that ring over there, whatever that was.
We're almost at the spot where the object fell. Here it is. Okay, let's use one of Link's new abilities.
Dun dun dun.
If you do this on the rock that just fell, look, it started rising. This power is known as recall, which rewinds an object's movement.
But how
Since
long
I just used recall on the fallen rock, I
does
can
it
now rise
recall?
into the sky.
You know what I mean?
We're a lot closer to
Like,
the
does it
Sky
recall
Islands.
all the way to where
Let's
it
use the
started?
paraglider to reach
Apparently
it.
not, right? See right there, it didn't.
There are a few
So
other
where did that
Sky
even
Islands
come
floating
from?
here too. I made it. There are lots of ways to
The
reach
dragons
Sky
are back.
Islands, so we hope you'll try a few different methods. Okay, now we're on a slightly bigger Sky Island. Just like on the surface, there are several man-made structures. Some trees are also growing here. You won't see many of those yellow trees on the surface.
So,
though.
so if you remember, this is like why they
Let's
had.
walk around for a bit.
Maybe I should pause it real quick. So if you remember, this is why they had Skyward Sword. So they put Skyward Sword out right before this game because they wanted to have Skyward Sword in our minds when we played this game. And if you remember in Skyward Sword, there's a bunch of Skylofts. Well, the place is called Skyloft, and there's a bunch of islands up in the sky, and this is very reminiscent of that. So there's a lot of theories on like what's going on and where this fits into the timeline with Skyward Sword. And if everybody remembers, Skyward Sword is supposed to be the very first story in the Zelda franchise in the timeline order, in chronological order, right? And this Breath of the Wild is supposed to be the final story in that.
There's a branch on the ground. When you find something like this, you should pick it up. It might come in handy later.
So very similar to Breath of the
continue.
Wild. Gameplay pretty much looks
something's there.
exact.
This is a brand new enemy called a construct.
I'm glad that there's new enemies.
The branch we just picked up. Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good. Quick, get another branch and we defeated it.
So more of the same with Breath of the Wild, right? This seems like very early in the game. I at least I'd hope, right? They're not spoiling stuff like later in the game, right?
Also, this branch is almost broken. So here's another one of Link's new abilities. If we use this branch and the rock over here and do this, look, we can stick them together. We created a makeshift hammer. This is called fuse. You can stick objects together to create new weapons with various effects.
That's interesting.
Let's take on another construct with this fused weapon. We're dealing with two of them at once. Oh, we beat one. The weapon's attack has definitely improved. The other
That's really cool.
broke, but this weapon has much better durability.
So this solves the problem.
You can do all sorts of things by experimenting with the fuse.
So if you remember in the original Breath of the Wild, a lot of people were complaining about the weapon durability, and they were also complaining about the early game stuff. Lots of people had a hard time in the early game, and then when they got to the middle of the game, it was kind of like a snowball, right? Like it just got easier and easier and easier until like the end game wasn't that hard at all. So maybe this is going to change the difficulty, but this kind of makes it feel like it's going to make it easier in the beginning of the game. Who knows?
Fuse ability. You can fuse two weapons, for example. If we take this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork, we can create a weapon with a much longer attack range.
That's very cool.
With this, we don't have to get too close to enemies, and we can safely attack from a distance.
Really cool.
You can also fuse arrows with materials in your inventory. For instance, try fusing this leaf to an arrow.
Why?
Fuse an ice elemental material to an arrow.
See, that makes sense, but a leaf?
You can freeze faraway enemies.
That's really cool.
Very useful. In addition, let's see. Ah, there's a bird flying around. If you're
Is
out
that a
hunting,
loftwing?
you might feel that aiming with an arrow is too difficult. Apparently, my eyes can't track fast-moving objects as of late, so my shots rarely land. So, at times like these, here's an eyeball you can get by defeating monsters. Fuse it to an arrow and...
What?
It homed in on the target.
That's sick.
Let's try
So
this on another
items do different things, apparently. That's really cool. Why does the eye... Oh, because his eye...
General direction.
The eye sees the
Very
target
simple.
and is like, hey, I'm going for it.
Depending on what you stick together,
Really
the
cool.
fuse ability could also be beneficial for hunting. I fused a mushroom to my shield. Now, you're probably wondering if this has any use. Well, this mushroom is actually a puff shroom. Let's fight an enemy with this. I blocked with the shield.
Really
Okay,
cool.
there's smoke now. The enemy's lost
So
sight
the
of
enemy
Link,
like
so
made a smoke
attack.
bomb for you.
Even if you struggle with combat, you can take down enemies using similar methods. In the previous game, you'd usually get powerful weapons by defeating strong enemies. But in this game, fusing even the weakest weapon with something else could turn it into a useful weapon. There are even more gameplay options for sticking things together. Let me demonstrate. Some of the Sky Islands even have rivers. We'll want to cross this one, but swimming across it, well, the river's too wide for that. We need a boat. Of course, there isn't anything that resembles a boat around here.
Uh-oh.
So, we'll lift up this log and attach it to a second log. Let's do one more. We'll bring this over here and attach a third log. It's a makeshift raft. This is enough.
So I'm going to stop the video right here just to say something. If you remember in the original Breath of the Wild, there were a lot of issues when you were trying to make items get really close to each other. So with this new ability, I hope that it just like intelligently snaps to the right place, because a lot of times I was trying to like put boxes together or like, you know, get an item really close to another item to, you know, hit it or something and make it fly over the bridge or something like that. But it was really finicky and it didn't actually line up perfectly all the time, where that looks pretty darn perfect. Like, look at that. That looks like all three logs are meant to be next to each other. So I hope they made it easier. I'm excited to see how that works.
Another new ability called Ultra Hand. Even though the logs are currently attached, they can be detached. Let's modify the shape of the raft. You can always attach things or detach them like this. Now, if we put this on the water, it's made of wood, so the buoyancy will keep it afloat. We've made a simplified version of a boat. However, it won't move in its current state, so we'll need something to propel it forward.
Is that where you lock it and hit it a bunch of times and jump on it?
There's
and then
something here. Let's try hitting it. Oh, wind. It's blowing wind. Looks like we found a fan.
I love how
Why
he's
don't we try
acting as
attaching?
though he didn't help develop this. Oh, this is doing something I didn't expect. Liar. You lied to me.
We'll attach another one.
Really cool.
This should make the boat well balanced. Okay, they're attached.
So we're making vehicles in
let's
this
try
game.
moving the Hey,
I like
it's
that you don't
moving.
have to hit both. I
It's
expected you to
sailing
have to
pretty
hit
fast
both.
with the wind from the fans. Since we added 2 fans, we should be able to cross the river in no time. All right, we reached the other side.
That enemy's not even gonna mess
In
with
the
you?
most recent trailer, we showed scenes of Link riding a large car and a flying machine. Those vehicles actually aren't in the game from the start.
No,
Instead, you'll
really?
be able to freely craft them on your own. There are all sorts of objects you'll come across in this game. And depending on how you use your imagination, you can do a lot with them. So, try crafting different things and explore this world at your leisure.
Whoa!
There are even more new abilities. Take this building over here. Okay, watch this.
I'm watching. Yeah, that's a really cool
passed right through
ability.
the ceiling.
So they showed that in the last trailer
This new
too.
ability is called Ascend. If you're
Interesting.
in a place with a ceiling, you can go through to the floor above you.
Interesting.
There are some restrictions, but what's great about this ability is that as long as there's a ceiling, you can use it anywhere.
No, you can't do it in
For
there.
example, this place has a cave with a hill right above it.
No!
If we use the ability here, come on, keep going. Okay.
That's
We
wild.
emerged at the top of the hill.
Wow.
In the previous game, you had to use stamina to climb a mountain. But in this game, if there's a mountain with a cave like this one, you can now get to the top without having to climb all the way up.
Yeah,
Here's
that's gonna
another
save
example.
so much
Imagine
time.
you're stuck in a cage. If it's got a ceiling, you know what to do, right? Exactly. Oh, there's another construct. It seems to be holding a strange weapon. Some enemies are equipped with fused weapons, so battles will play out a
Oh,
bit
so they
differently
could
from the
also
previous
fuse,
game.
huh?
Ah,
Oh,
it
that
blew me
slapped
away
you.
with wind. Looks like it's got some sort of fan. Ah! I got pushed off. Ah, well, let's just return to the surface. You
Ah,
can
well.
quickly descend from the sky to the surface like this. It feels so good.
Show a loft wing, yo. Show a
In the
loft wing.
sky, you'll be able to look out across the land.
That'd be sick.
You can also search for destinations that pique your interest.
I
Once you've
really
chosen your
hope you can unlock a
destination,
loft wing.
you can speed things up, like this. Let's dive into this river.
That would hurt, bro.
And we're back
That's
on
a
the surface.
long drop. It's not that simple.
There are
that would
still so
hurt.
many things I'd like to show you, but let's leave it at that for now. What did you think?
Thought it was pretty cool.
Some of Link's new abilities were updated from the previous game.
Definitely were, sir.
I'm sure some of you watching me play were thinking, wait, if you could do that, then maybe you could do this too. In this game, you can do a lot of things just by
Use your
thinking about what's
imagination.
even possible.
The possibilities are
There's still a lot of new
endless.
gameplay, mysteries, and encounters we couldn't show today, but they're all jam-packed into this unfamiliar Hyrule, and we hope you'll use your imagination to explore it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.
God, I hope my hair looks as good as his when I'm his age. Just saying. Really cool. So we got a lot to look forward to now. So I did want to say... Oh, is there more? Oh, yeah, so this is what I pre-ordered. I didn't know they, like, announced it in this video. I'm, like, up in the air on if I should keep this, though, because I already have a usable Nintendo Switch, and it's like... It's not like it's a Switch Pro, and it's not cheap. It's $359, so it's not $349 anymore. They increased the price, but that dock looks so nice, and so do those controllers. So like, I'm tempted to keep it. I'm so tempted to keep it. I got some time before I could cancel the pre-order, and that controller I ordered too. I might have to order that case. Oh no, my wallet is gonna cry. But yeah, so I thought that was a pretty cool trailer. I thought that it kind of showed like a lot of things that are not gonna. It's. I feel like there's gonna be way more going on, right? So like, I really hope that you unlock a loft wing. That's what I really hope at some point, like loft wings just appear. I know they might not be like so purposeful because you have flying machines and stuff, but it'd still be really cool if it happened. Because that like drop reminded me of like that loft wing drop in Skyward Sword. So it's like all you're missing is a whistle and a bird flying out to catch you. You know what I mean? So that'd be cool. I know it kind of like if you make a flying machine, it's kind of like pointless to do that. But let me geek out a little bit. You know what I mean? So it seems like the possibilities are endless as to what you can and can't do. It just really depends on like your imagination and what you could find in the environment. I'm stoked for this game. Let me know down below if you're as excited as I am for this, and let me know if you're gonna be pre-ordering that console, even if you have a Nintendo Switch. Because again, I don't know if I could like justify the purchase, but I kind of did it anyway. But yeah. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!